This will be a brief video that goes over three proven strategies to help retain staff as well as improve morale. And the overall goal is to just build a loyal team around you who can prevent call offs on holidays and weekends. I know that can cause a lot of stress for owners. So um, that's what we'll be going over. The first strategy is to kind of go beyond the hourly wage. I know a lot of caregivers as well as owners, the focus is typically on how much am I going to get paid per hour. A lot of the most successful facilities that we work with, they go beyond that. They do raises, tiered raises based on how long you stay with the company, retention bonuses. So if you hit a 1 year mark or you hit a 3 year mark, you're going to get a big bonus that you would want to stick around for to enable to get that bonus. And then the last thing is offer things that aren't related to the hourly wage. So that could be tuition reimbursement if they want to go to school to be a nurse, or if they want to do some sort of classes at a local community college, those sorts of things offer that, as well as health insurance is a big one. I know a lot of facilities have started offering that. That can be a huge benefit. And then retirement assistance. It doesn't have to be a full blown 401k. Just any way to make the staff feel like you care about them and you're invested in their financial future. The second thing, this is a more of a day-to-day type of thing that's not related to wages. This is involving the culture at the facility and the well-being of your staff day to day. So the first one is hold. It could be quarterly, it could be monthly. Sit down with your staff and talk with them to ask them what's working, ask them what's not working, ask them what stresses them out, what's been causing frustration, how are they interacting with their caregivers. Most often, we find out why staff left as they're leaving instead of finding out why they might leave while they're still there. The second one is prevent burnout. This is mandatory. Most states have certain rules based on how long care staff can work. But keep in mind, even if there's a rule that they can work, a certain hour per day, maybe it's 16 hours a day or something like that. Nobody wants to be working that much, even if they're getting paid overtime. So keep that in mind. Again, it's often when you don't have enough staff that the staff that's there is being burnt out because they're working longer. So all of this can kind of play into each other symbiotically. And then the last one is offer flexible scheduling, whether that's typically you do a 12-hour shift, maybe think about 8-hour shifts or in reverse, as well as when things come up in day-to-day life. Don't make them feel like they're a burden when they have a doctor's appointment or when their kid is sick. I know oftentimes caregivers can use those things as excuses. You'll be able to see when that's a real excuse or when they're just trying to get out of work. But give them the respect they deserve in terms of what sort of things they're missing work for, as well as when they're at work. And then the last one is make them feel like they have a way to progress. I know a lot of caregivers have been doing it for a long time. They might not show you that they want to get more responsibility. They may not even think that they want to become anything more than just a caregiver, but everybody has a desire to become more or become better than they currently are. So when you hire staff, show them what they could become. Show them that, CNAs become med techs. And then oftentimes, maybe even the med techs, you might pay for them or help them with school, and then they can become an RN. So show them a career path that is not just simply being a CNA until eternity. The second thing is create a mentorship program. Find the person in your facility. It might not be the most experienced because oftentimes they might be a little bit closed off, or it doesn't have to be the most experienced person. Find someone who can get along with other caregivers, who doesn't mind teaching, who doesn't mind showing them little tips and tricks here and there. So find some people who can become mentors in your facility and help them help others inside of the facility. And then pay for the CEUs. I know that's common. Most facilities do that, but get them additional certificates. Make them feel like they're learning. Nobody wants to be in a job where they're stagnant and they're only learning because they have to. Find ways to get your staff learning things that could benefit them even if it's not at your facility, even if it's in the future, staff will feel how much you care about them and how much you care about their future, even if it's not going to benefit you currently. And I know that all of these things are difficult. You know, residents don't want to pay as much, so it's hard to give wage increases, or health insurance is expensive, those types of things. But when it all comes down to it, the staff is your business. They're the most important part of the operations, and so having staff who are reliable, who can help you out, take the burden off of you instead of adding burden to your plate. Those are the staff that only will stay around if they have a culture around them, if they have wages and everything that they feel is complementary to what they want. So those are our three suggestions in terms of how and why you might want to offer these things to help staff stick around. Thanks.